Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. As you can tell from the title of this video, we are going to be reviewing a concealer dupe today. It's going to be a dupe or a supposed dupe of the Huda Beauty Overachiever concealer. I haven't really seen anyone comparing them, and the only real reason I believe it is a dupe is because of the packaging. It looks really inspired by the packaging of the Overachiever concealer. However, there is a huge difference in size and the shades available. So without further ado, let's jump right into this video. As you can tell, my makeup is very much incomplete. I have done my primer, foundation and my eyebrows, and that's it, because obviously the next step is going to be applying the concealer. So this is where we're gonna get started with today's video. But before we do, I wanna very quickly talk about both of these concealers. This is how the Overachiever concealer looks like. It costs £24. It comes in 20 different shades and it contains 10 milliliters of product. And once you take off the cap, you can see you have a very interesting applicator with it. This is supposed to cool the under eye area whilst you're applying the concealer to help get rid of any puffiness. And I have this in the shade Cotton Candy, which, as you can see, is a really light, cool toned shade. Now, on the other hand, the Sheglam concealer is massive. It has 25 milliliters of product in it. It's an absolute giant compared to the Huda concealer, but once I put them next to each other, you can see why I believe that the packaging at least was inspired by the Huda concealer. It's just super similar. However, the applicator of this one is completely different. It comes in this squeezy tube, and you will pretty much have to squeeze it onto a sponge or your finger. I wouldn't recommend squeezing it directly on the face, so you don't get that cooling effect with it. However, you get 25 milliliters of product for £3. I don't think you can get any cheaper than that. You get a lot of concealer for a very affordable price. They both have 12 months shelf life. They're also both cruelty free, despite Shein being a Chinese company, so that's very good news. Right now, as I checked Shein's website, they only have 9 shades available. However, out of those 9, some of them are color correcting ones, so green, purple, orange, and there are quite a limited number of shades available for lighter skin tones such as mine. I could see 2. One of them is called Tahiti and the other one is called Finland. The one I have is called Greenland, so it looks like this one is right now not available on their website. I honestly have no idea why. I don't know if it's sold out or discontinued. I bought this concealer about half a year ago, so things could have changed since. I just swatched some of this next to the Cotton Candy shade from Huda. As you can see, this one is darker. I obviously ordered this online. I had no idea how similar or different it was going to be. I just tried to order a light shade that looked similar to my skin tone based on pictures. So we're gonna have to work with this. They will probably look slightly different on the face, but that's not the main question. The main question is how the performance and the consistency compares to the Overachiever concealer. So I'm just going to kind of work them both into the skin just to get a feel of the consistency and how opaque they are once you work them into the skin. As you can see, the Overachiever concealer is really opaque and it has a quite thick feel to it, so you don't need a lot of concealer, which means even though you only get 10 milliliters, it should last you for quite a long time. And now I'm gonna get started with blending out the Shein version. Obviously, I applied a lot more of this on my hand because it's a very different applicator, so I squeezed out quite a lot. It definitely feels a lot less thick, and yeah, as you can see, it is definitely darker. It's also not as matte, at least at first. We will see once it starts drying down on my hand how matte it gets, and obviously we also want to see if they turn darker or not With concealers, they normally shouldn't, but if they do, we definitely want to know that. I have been quite enjoying applying my concealer using a brush, so that's what we're going to do today. As always, I'm going to apply the original concealer on this side of the face and the dupe on this side. And I just zoomed you guys in to be able to show you a close-up of how the application of both concealers look like. Because I won't be able to apply the Sheglam concealer on my face, I'm gonna be applying the Huda version as well on the brush and not directly on the face, because I want the application to be as similar as possible. And I will try my best to take the same amount of product, of course. I normally like to conceal not just under my eye, but also my eyelid. I like to brighten up that area so that the eyeshadow will stand out more, and it can act also as an eyeshadow base. And I will also try my best to spread out this concealer to other parts of the face that I normally like to brighten up using a concealer. So that's it on the Huda side so far. And now I'm taking the same amount of product on the Sheglam side. Obviously, we are not going to have the same amount of brightening effect from this concealer because, like I said, it is a lot closer to my actual skin color. It's not that much brighter as the other side was. Actually, you know what? Once I worked it into the skin, I don't see that big of a difference color-wise. I don't really feel like it looks different on the two sides. They look quite similar. The one thing I will say is that I find that I have more coverage on the Huda side on my eyelids. So I will see what happens if I take slightly more of the Sheglam concealer and try to achieve the same coverage we have on the Huda side. I only took a tiny little bit though. You remember you still have 2.5 times more product than you have in the Huda concealer. Okay, I feel like now I definitely have a very similar coverage. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like I have a bit of a streakiness here in the outer corner of the eye. I'm gonna go on and I'm gonna powder this down now, and we will see how they look after we powder them down. I'm gonna use my Ben Nye translucent powder in the shade Fair. And now that we completely powdered down the face, we're gonna have another look. So far, I do feel like I look slightly drier and I can see more creases on the dupe side, but it might be temporary. So I'm gonna go off camera now. I'm gonna finish the rest of my makeup and then we're gonna have another look. Okay, so as you guys can see, my makeup is completed now. Before I will show you a close-up again of how my under eyes look right now, I just wanted to quickly check on the two concealers that we swatched on the back of the hand. As you can see, they did dry down quite a lot now, and I actually do think that they changed color as well. You can hardly tell the difference between them anymore. And if I swatch some fresh concealer on the top of them, I think you can definitely tell that the Huda one oxidized a lot more. The Sheglam one definitely did as well, but the Huda one oxidized more, and because of that oxidization, they actually turned out to be really similar to each other by the end. And I think that is why now when my makeup is completed, you cannot tell the difference between the two. But that's just as far as the color goes. Let's see now how they both perform. So I'm gonna zoom you guys in again. So this is my under eye on the Huda side, and this is my under eye on the dupe side. I still think that the dupe side looks slightly drier, but come on, the price difference is unbelievable. So I'm gonna keep these on for a while. I do wanna see how they change over time, if either of them starts creasing or coming off. Before we do that though, I wanted to do one more thing, because I don't really have dark under eyes. So I like to use concealers on my tattoo to see how much they can cover up a tattoo, because I think that's a good indicator of how much they will be able to cover up your dark under eye circles. I tried my best to make sure I take exactly the same amount of the two products. So this is the Huda one, and this is the Sheglam one. I think you can definitely tell the difference in color right now. I don't think there is a huge difference in coverage, but I do think the Huda one is still a slightly better coverage. It's just thicker, it's more opaque, even though the Sheglam one is more runny, and it's definitely a lot less matte than the Huda concealer is. I still find them super similar, at least for now. We shall see later. So at the moment is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm gonna come back around 6 o'clock. So we're gonna give it about 5 hours. I won't be able to do the whole 8 hours today, but I'm gonna try my best. And when I come back, we're gonna go on and we will see once again how the two concealers look like. So far, I'm very happy with the Sheglam one, especially for the price and the amount you get. It's amazing, but we will see. I will see you guys in about 5 hours. Okay, so it has been around 5 hours at this point since I last checked in with you. So I'm gonna zoom you guys in again. I definitely find the Huda concealer more matte. I do feel like the Sheglam one, even after drying down, it still has a shine to it. Other than that though, they both held up really well. I don't see any creasing on either side. I don't see any of the concealer coming off. So I'm actually quite happy. Obviously, I'm happier with the Sheglam one because it cost significantly less, 8 times less to be exact. I'm not saying at all that the Huda one is not good, but in the Sheglam one, you get 2.5 times more for 8 times less. So you save a lot of money and you get a lot more concealer. And honestly, I don't think anyone could tell that I'm wearing 2 different concealers on the 2 sides of the face, even despite them being a slightly different color. And that's it for today's video. I do think that the Sheglam concealer is really good. Is it as good as the Overachiever concealer? No, I still find the Overachiever concealer thicker, therefore you need less product and therefore it just doesn't feel as heavy on the face. I did find the Sheglam one a little bit heavier due to you needing to apply more product, but I feel like once you powder them down, that kind of goes away. As I also mentioned before, it looks slightly drier, but not to the point where it would make a significant difference between the 2 sides. So I'm very happy with it. Like I said, I'm also very happy with the Huda one. I do think it's a better concealer. However, considering the price point and how much product you get, I would definitely go with the Sheglam one, as long as you can find your color, because like I said, right now at least the color selection is not the best. maybe if they will have a lot of people buying it, they will come out with more colors. The one I have, Greenland, is quite a good fit for me personally, but it might not be a good fit for you, and it's not even available at the moment, so the color selection is not the best. But if you can find a shade that suits you, then definitely give it a try. That's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because I would love to have you here. And until next time, take care of yourself. I will see you very soon.